Take two, because my camera just decided not to record. Hey, what's up you guys, it's Drew, and this week I want to talk about the fact that I can't stop crying. So, a little bit of a backstory. Before I started testosterone, I hated crying. I tried to avoid it at all costs, even with my therapist. I remember in sessions I would just sit there and my eyes would well up and I'm about to cry and I'm just I'm not gonna cry, so we need to talk about something else. And of course he was like, no, let's move forward, let's keep talking about this, why don't you just let it out? But I resisted as much as I possibly could. I don't think I ever cried in front of that therapist, and then I started seeing my current therapist and cried with her the first or second day. So yeah, but I still hated it. I had thoughts of this makes me weak and this shows a vulnerability and it's not okay to be vulnerable, and what's wrong with me, why am I crying? So yeah, that was just kind of where I started. So then later I met my now fiance Natalie, and she is the opposite of me and she cries a lot. Hey, I think it's totally cool if you want to cry, but it makes me feel like poop and makes me feel weak and makes me feel vulnerable and all these things, and it kind of caused a little bit of turbulence between us, because me saying those things and saying that it made me feel that way when I cried, and that's how I felt about myself when I cried, made her feel a little bit was that how you feel about me when I cry? And I was like, well no, that's crazy, of course not. And through many conversations and tears, honestly, I really realized what I was doing, and that I had this double standard for myself and for other people, and that wasn't okay. And having Natalie by my side through that and being able to just comfort me when I finally let my guard down and just cried, made that whole process so much easier, and I'm just so glad I went through that, and especially with her. So I reached this point where I was more okay with crying, but I still didn't really like it, and it still didn't really like how it made me feel, but I was improving. And then right before I started testosterone, so about a year ago, I had heard that some guys had trouble connecting with their emotions or crying, or just being more sensitive and emotional once they started testosterone. And that really scared me, because I had spent the last probably 2.5 to 3 years working with my therapist, working with Natalie, and working with myself to really hone in my self-talk and to be able to connect myself with my emotions and be okay with that. So I was really terrified that was just going to go away with my very first shot of testosterone. Now, I know that's not realistic. Even if it is a side effect of testosterone, it's not going to happen within a day. That's just not realistic. That's not how it works. But that was kind of my fear. So I started testosterone in a really good headspace, where I was really paying attention to every emotion that crossed my mind, every thought I had about anything, positive or negative. I also had a lot of other things going on in my life that really helped me focus on those emotions and how I was feeling and just all those good things. So I start testosterone, and I don't know, probably about 2 or 3 months in, and then for the next 3 to 6 months or so, I could not cry for the life of me. I would want to cry so bad and it just wouldn't come out. I would want to cry and it wouldn't come out, and then I'm now I want to cry even more because I'm so frustrated. So it was this really weird thing. There's for me at least, when I'm about to cry, I can feel it up my face, and so I would have that feeling and okay, yes, finally, this is the day it's all gonna come out, and it would just stop right behind my eye, and I could feel it right there, and I'm trying to push the tears out and they just will not come. And yeah, it was like the weirdest thing ever. And I mean, it was really just frustrating above all else because I had put in so much work to be where I was. And I knew that this didn't set me back, it just was frustrating because the crying was now a way that I was able to get things out and be able to kind of move on from certain things. So yeah, that was a weird couple of months. And then one day, I don't really remember what happened or what I watched, or I really don't remember. I think it was some like stupid commercial, and I just started bawling, and I was so happy because I was crying. Like, it was finally coming out. It felt so good. It felt like months and months and months of tears just finally pouring out. And yeah, so that was really odd and frustrating, but now for a while I was pretty much just back to my normal, crying when it was appropriate, if that's even applicable, what was appropriate for me, and what helped me move on from certain things that were going on in my life, and just to get those emotions out. Now, I'm a little over a year on T, and I cannot stop crying. I cry at everything. I can't watch TV shows without crying for the most part. I can't think about sentimental things without tearing up. It's insane. And I kind of like it because it's kind of cool because I've kind of come full circle from one extreme to the other. But I also think I'm a little too extreme on one end right now. So I'm really working on pulling that back in. But just to give you some examples, so This Is Us. Best show ever. I love it. I cry every single week. Every week. Never fails. I always cry. When I watched Gilmore Girls, when I watched the revival, I'm pretty sure I cried. I at least teared up. I know that much. So yeah, TV shows never used to make me cry. Movies, like nothing like that ever made me cry before. And now I cry at them all the time. And then text messages. My sister texted me the other day and said, "I love you and you're my hero." And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna just bawl my eyes out. But I'm at a conference and I can't do that. So I had to just like not respond to her text for a while because I was just gonna lose it. Just dogs. Cute dogs make me cry sometimes. Like, they're just so cute, I cry. Like, I'm just so happy, and the dog is so happy, and life is great, and tears start coming out. I also get really, really sentimental, or I cry around sentimental things. So, for example, today is my birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, yay. And yesterday, my coworkers celebrated for me, and or with me, I guess, rather. And they got me this card and everybody wrote in it, and my job is not like any other where you just sign a card and give it to the person. I mean, they all wrote a nice little sentence or two, and I couldn't read it at work because I started to tear up, and I was like, I can't cry at work, I can't do this. So I'm gonna read them later, and everybody's like, oh, it's so cute, like, little Drew, blah blah blah, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. But then I got home and I read them all and I cried. Like, I knew I was going to cry. So overall, through this journey of kind of going from one extreme of not crying ever at all, don't let it out, to the other extreme of crying at everything and just letting it out and not caring, I've just learned it's okay to cry. Just let it out. Even when I know it's something stupid, I know that if I just let myself cry for like 0.5 seconds, it's done and it's over with, and we've moved on, and no one's been hurt. It doesn't harm anybody. So yeah, I've just learned to accept it as it comes, and yeah, it's good. It's really good. So that's all I got this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that little insight into a little piece of my life that I feel like a lot of trans guys don't talk about. What did we learn today? We learned that it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. If you have somebody in your life telling you that it's not okay to cry, don't listen to them. That's not true. Just because crying might not be their outlet doesn't mean it's not your outlet. It's okay. It really is okay to cry, I promise. If you need anybody to talk to or cry to, you know where to reach me. All my social links are below. Have a great week, guys, and see you next week. Bye.